This week in class, we've been reading Learning Theory and Online Technologies by Linda Harrison, and I'm going to be talking to you about Chapter 8, Collaborative Pedagogies in Practice. A chapter overview. The chapter begins by introducing 4 semi-fictional characters and the 4 simulations that we'll be talking about this evening. These people are based on real folks, but they have been fictionalized to protect their privacy, and we'll be talking about them in some of the scenarios. There are 4 styles of online learning that is being discussed in this chapter: online simulation and case studies of virtual organizations, student-led online seminars, co-production of real-world products and programs, online education, games, and learning environments. You now have a chance to meet our 4 semi-fictional characters. So first up we have Jennifer. She began an undergraduate degree but left to enter the job market to support her family. She's unable to attend preset times and location due to her family's busy schedule. Even though she's tried several times over the year, she unfortunately has been unsuccessful. Next, we have Barry. Barry works in sales and finds himself in several different countries a week, all around the world. He's looking to find a degree so that he can advance his career. He does have some regrets about not attending higher education in the past. This is Kurt. He has been in the armed forces for 12 years. He is enrolled in higher education programs in the past, but never been able to finish them due to deployments and training obligations. And lastly, we have Leanne. She was born and raised in Hong Kong, and she currently works in the high-tech sector. Her goal is to move to the US to continue working in tech. She's multilingual and feels that receiving an American degree is imperative for reaching her goal. The 4 students that we just talked about found many different online schools that offer a program model for online study. Some programs can be as little as short weeks, while others may offer full term, 12 to 15 weeks. Many programs offer a cohort-like system, allowing students to start at any time and typically stick with the same group of students throughout their journey. The 4 fictional students we mentioned have all selected the same university programs and classes, and they have full-time access to the course material anywhere in the world. Barry has found this particularly helpful. This model represents the discussion-based approach to online learning that many of us are familiar with, and the instructor will typically guide students through many different types of activities that allow the students to indirectly interact with each other. Now we're going to move on to our scenarios. So this is scenario 1, online case studies. Case studies can be used in many different fields, however, they are not always online learning friendly. Many are typically done in person or require large books and sets of files. Online case studies have become widely available to people across the world to give them a chance to collaborate on these studies independently yet interactively. The virtual option also provides a much larger range of materials than a hard copy can, for example, providing audio files and interviews that cannot be seen in a textbook. The University of Phoenix is one of the largest organizations to have created a software database with these case studies in them. Our next scenario 2, student-led online seminars. This is where our 4 fictional students that we've been talking about are going to come in. They've been asked to host a 1-week seminar for their class virtually. This reflects a large part of their final grade. The team must present, facilitate, and then analyze the seminar that they will be hosting. Once introducing the topic, the team offers 3 discussion questions to help their peers start a conversation. They will also share readings that relate to the questions. The team determines that the goal for the seminar is not to come out with an agreement at the end, but to spark questions and analytical thinking. Continuing on with this scenario, the teams post all their materials to the class access point and wait. Other students are seen complimenting and expressing excitement for the week's seminars, and they are challenged as moderators to not become too involved with the conversation and to withhold judgment. The team then analyzed the data that they were able to collect based on how and when people answered, if there seemed to be a pattern of how people answered, and what they based their ideas on. The team then plotted this data in easy-to-read spreadsheets for presentation to their facilitator. Our third scenario is online global professional development. 33 students from 24 different countries, all working in union trades, have been given access to an online course that will last 8 months. Many have some technological experience, but others do not. They log into a password-protected account that brings them to their course. This is a form-based approach where participants can read, write, and reply to messages. These are all monitored and often started by an instructor. There's a large geographic difference in the participants of this particular course, making the study interesting to see how they all interact and prioritize the work. Many of the students found that it was easier to answer the forms as more people answered, opening up new ideas and perspectives. And finally, we have online educational games and immersive learning environments. The final scenario is based off games in the classroom, something that we are seeing more and more with one-on-one technology becoming more prevalent. Both students and adults can use these games. Some examples for younger students would be in math games, showing real-life simulation of using what they have learned. For example, in my classroom, I use a program that allows my students to have a pretend bank account, and it gives them a chance to practice all of the financial literacy skills that we've learned. Some of the most common uses for adults is simulations. For example, surgical procedures, landing airplanes, helicopters, and going into war is also a common use for the military. Certain games are even set up to be used as multiplayer to promote classroom collaboration. Younger students have also found themselves being tricked into learning. They feel they're enjoying a game but are picking up on critical skill sets. They've also been used for testing, as students often feel less stressed by playing a familiar video game than they are taking a test. And finally, I'll conclude this chapter with my works cited, the book that we have been reading in class this week. Have a great week.